A lot of firewood videos are people that are doing it for a sideline or a living, and they've got all this nice equipment. But I thought I'd show you how a normal guy trying to save thousands of dollars in fuel would cut his own firewood and process it. I'm going to try to make this video like the basics of making firewood, but try to make it interesting so even if you're a pro at it, that it'd still be interesting to you. First, let's talk equipment. All you really need is just a splitting maul and a chainsaw to cut your firewood. And your chainsaw doesn't have to be a $1,000 commercial steel chainsaw or Husqvarna, even though I wouldn't mind having one. I actually bought this one used when I was 18 for $275. That's 9 years ago. But I mean, I would get a name brand, just get something that's reliable. The other thing is your splitting maul. Now this is your old-fashioned, your regular splitting maul. But my brother-in-law's got a Fisker's splitting maul, and it is the best splitting maul I've ever used. So if you're going to be splitting your firewood with a splitting maul, I definitely recommend it. I think they sell them at Lowe's, but I'll leave a link in the description to Amazon. Read the Amazon reviews, pretty good. When you're cutting firewood to sell, you want to make sure that it's pretty consistent length. But when you're cutting your own firewood, unless you're OCD or don't have any other hobbies, you're just going to kind of eyeball it. My stove can take up to, well, it's 27 inches, but more like 24 inches max. And my bar is 20 inches long, and so I just hold my bar up there and go a few inches longer, or I just eyeball it, just get it in the ballpark. Cutting firewood is fun because there's a sense of pride and satisfaction that goes with having a big stockpile of heat to last you 1 or 2 winters that you cut yourself for just a few dollars in gas and some sweat. Cutting firewood may look straightforward and boring, but there's actually a lot of things to look out for. Like, your tree will try to bind your saw in every way possible that you'll discover the first tree that you cut up. You gotta read the tree and see where the pressure is or which way gravity is pulling it so that you don't pinch your saw blade or chain. And when you're cutting along the ground, you gotta keep from cutting into the ground. And there's always, of course, yourself to look out for. It's always better if you don't cut yourself with your saw. Another thing, if you're new at it, you'll probably be terrible at sharpening your saw. I could not keep a sharp saw. You know, once the new chain got dulled, I could not get it to cut right. Now, I wasn't cutting firewood, so I didn't use a chainsaw a whole lot until somebody told me about this tool that completely changed it. Now I can get a chain probably sharper than it is when it's brand new. Maybe not sharper, but it cuts more aggressive. You've probably seen this sharpener. It's nothing new, but I'll show you at the end of the video. Now I know I was really talking up that split maul earlier, but better yet, in my opinion, is having someone you can borrow a log splitter from. My father-in-law's got this awesome little log splitter, so I can still enjoy making firewood. When you're cutting green lumber like this, you're going to want to season it for at least a year, especially for these newer high efficiency, well I guess they're not that new, but a high efficiency wood stove. They need that lumber to be good and dry to be able to burn efficiently. So I just stack mine. I don't have a wood shed. That's on my list of things to do in the next 5 years. But I just stack it outside, and I've not even been covering it until several weeks before I'm ready to burn it. Now, but it is better if you cover it. So this year I'm going to cover mine with probably some old roofing metal. I'm not cutting up the whole trees because I've got a sawmill. And so I've got several nice little logs out of this. Actually, this is an oak. I don't know what kind it is. The guy that pushed it down thought it was a white oak. But then cutting it, the sawdust was kind of red, so I don't know. But this one here is like 25 feet long, but my sawmill only cut 20 feet. But that makes it easier. You don't have to split near as much wood. I'm not stacking the firewood in this video. This is actually the neighbor's shop. The property line is right behind his shop. I'm putting my barn in this area, not lined up with his shop though. But I still want to take out a bunch of these smaller trees through here before I build my building, just to keep these trees from being a problem later on. I'm building my 36 by 36 building that I've been talking about right in this area, but it's taking a lot more tree clearing and dirt work to get ready for that, and a whole lot more firewood out of the process. That's the nice thing about burning wood for heat, is when I'm clearing this, I'm killing two birds with one stone, cleaning up the trees and making fuel. This wind today has been driving me crazy. So I'm going to save the stacking for another day. I've got a lot more firewood to cut anyway. It's a good practice to always sharpen your chainsaw before you put it up, but I never do it unless I'm making a video and I'm showing you guys this nifty little sharpener that makes me look like a pro at sharpening. Now I'm sure there's some of you guys out there that can sharpen better with a little hand file, but for most of us, we struggle with getting a good sharp chainsaw. So this has the flat file to file down the rakers the same time as you're sharpening your other teeth. And I'll mark the tooth I'm starting on, just so I can easily see when I come all the way back around. But these it's got little guides on it that sit right on top of the teeth, and you put your angle right with your chain. And I actually go this, getting all mixed up now. There we go. These two right along your chain, and I usually do about 3, unless I hit a rock or something, which I did hit the ground nicked the ground a couple times, so I probably nicked a rock. It was pretty dull when I quit, and you guys get the gist of it. Now this is not just for steel chainsaws. This one, when you buy it, it'll have the numbers on it. This is a 3/8, and it will say on your bar what you need. And you just, for any saws. Now this is a steel is on here, but the brand that makes it, you have to do a little research. If I figure it out, I'll put it down in the description. The company that makes these makes them in all red without the steel name on it, and they're quite a bit cheaper, but they're the exact same thing. A friend of mine was showing me that. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope this video was interesting to you. I'm trying to make at least one video a week, be more consistent. But I don't want to consistently make bad videos, so I hope it was a good one for you. Thanks for watching, and God bless.